take 4 here. I keep forgetting stuff. It's ridiculous. Oh, my family's making all sorts of noise upstairs. I figured I have to get this review in before work and before I shave off this luxurious beard. Yeah, the beard's gonna go. I'm a little sick of it. So, without further ado, let's talk about Star Wars. This is a Star Wars exclusive haul. This week, I'm so behind on all of my singles, really, especially the digital stuff, that I decided, even though I forgot to pick up Danger Girl issue 3, they're reserving it for me, I'll pick it up next week, and once I see what's coming out for me. I just wanted to get some reading in, you know. And plus, I've been playing this game, Star Wars Battlefront. This is the deluxe edition for PS4. Yes, I'm one of the many people who plays this on PS4, which is like the #1 console playing this game. Even PC's not keeping up with PS4, so that's cool. I like it, but I'm going to be talking more about that on the Star Wars Legends podcast on Saturday. You know, and then I also got the Collector's Edition Strategy Guide. It's a hardcover, which I like. I've actually been using it to find some collectibles and stuff. And just to get map orientation on certain maps. Some of the smaller maps, so that way I'm fucking better than the rest of them. So next, I'm going to be talking about this giant stack of EU. Yes, yeah, look at that. There's so much of it. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to make everyone sick. That's not even all of it. We're going to talk about the first 2 things that are actually comic book related. The only 2 things comic book related. These are some Dark Horse Darth Vader miniseries. Now, I knew I would have to get these one day. The thing about these was they're not that good. No one really likes these series, so that's why it's taken me so long to actually start collecting them. I had to wait for a reasonable deal. And this seller was selling these 2 separately, and I asked him to do combined shipping, and he did. So I got these for about $12, $11, $12, something like that. I got the first one of these, and I got the 4th one. And the first one's got some sticky shit on the fucking dust jacket. This is Darth Vader and the Lost Command. This is the only one people even kind of talk about. The rest, they just don't care. And then the 4th one, Darth Vader and the Cry of Shadows. Now, why on earth were these only released in hardcover, not paperback, whereas everything else from Dark Horse was almost always released in paperback? I will never know. It boggles my mind. I don't understand. But, hey. Got some hardcovers. They'll go up on top there next to Dark Forces. Next is I'm going to go through the Sci-Fi Book Club exclusive hardcovers before I get to the regular sized hardcovers. Just because it was easier to stack them that way. The first one here was a trilogy that I never thought I'd get in hardcover. And I say that a lot with these Bantam hardcovers because some of them are just so hard to find. But this is the Bounty Hunter Wars trilogy. It's about Boba Fett's return out of the Sarlacc pit, and essentially, that's like one of the stories in here. His dealings with like Prince Caesar, who I'll get to his book shortly. And so on and so forth. It's basically him and Dengar, which is cool. This hardcover I had never seen before until about earlier this year. I saw it and I'm like, that's fascinating. They did a hardcover for this. Little did I know that the only thing Bantam didn't do in hardcover was the X-Wing novel series. So, Bounty Hunter Wars, you can get them in paperback really easy. I paid $12.50 for it, which is a steal if you ask me. Next, I got some new Jedi Order here. It's actually an order on accident. It's another Sci-Fi Book Club size, but it's not one of their it's the book club size, you know. It's star by star. This is the sad one. Troy Denning. Oh, the last book was by K.W. Jeter. Or is it H? I can't tell. It looks like a K. They're using weird font that I can't read. So, I don't know who they are. But I do know who Troy Denning is. He was a predominant Star Wars writer who actually started in West End Games' early role-playing stuff with Star Wars. So he's been writing Star Wars for a long time. And he really started diving into the novels and New Jedi Order. But he ended up being one of the predominant 3 writing post-Jedi novels after New Jedi Order. In fact, I have several of his books in here that I just got. So that's cool. Star by star. Oh, and now I still only have one New Jedi Order book that's the standard hardcover size. Yeah. Balance Point gets separated from the rest on the shelf. I think that's kind of goofy and bizarre, but hey, if I ever, once I get the Unifying Force and Final Prophecy, and Dark Journey, I think and Destiny's Way, there's a giant possibility those will be standard hardcover size and sit next to Balance Point on the shelf. One can hope. I don't know. Next is the last set of New Jedi Order books. This is another sci-fi book club exclusive. Enemy Lines by Aaron Alston. Aaron Alston is an author that I read one of his books and I really liked it, which was Legacy of the Force, Betrayal. He passed away a few years ago, and his birthday's coming up, so I had to buy an Alston set before his birthday, because we'll be talking briefly about that on my on Star Wars Legends. But yeah, Star by Star, I bought it for $5, by the way. Enemy Lines paid a little bit more than I wanted. I paid $34 for this, and I saw someone listing it for $25, and I was very annoyed. And it was this seller, because I just bought that, and this seller just suddenly listed that set and this trilogy by Troy Denning, the Dark Nest trilogy, which is essentially what happened right after the Vong War and the New Jedi Order event was done. And this bridges one of the storylines that will be predominant in Legacy of the Force. Either Legacy of the Force or Fate of the Jedi. I think it's Legacy of the Force. Not a lot of people talk about Dark Nest. I think it's because it's in the shadow of New Jedi Order. It was what had to come out afterwards, so everyone compares it to that and doesn't like it as much. But this set, I got this for $25, which is a steal, because this thing goes for $90 to like $100 on eBay, and it's absolutely absurd. I don't understand. It's not a hard one to find. I've seen this in the wild many times as a kid. But now all of a sudden it's really expensive for no reason. It's like how it fluctuates, like Black Fleet Crisis does this as well. But Black Fleet Crisis has the excuse of being the first sci-fi book club hardcover, period. It went out of print really quickly because it was that. So yeah. The last three Sci-Fi Club hardcovers I got are all from one series that I never thought I'd get in hardcover, because they're kids' books. You've seen me collect some of them in paperback. They're the Young Jedi Knights books. This is The Rise of Shadow Academy, and these are all done by Kevin J. Anderson and Rebecca Motza, which I believe is Kevin J. Anderson's wife. And this one contains Heirs to the Force, Shadow Academy, The Lost Ones, Lightsabers, Darkest Night, Jedi Under Siege. This is the one that you usually find online. It usually goes for like $75. Mine's beaten up a bit, but, you know, I can't complain because I didn't think I'd ever get it. And the second hardcover is The Fall of the Diversity Alliance. which you see this one less than that. And they usually see these two put together, and they have it for like $90 or something. And in this, they have Shards of Alderaan, Diversity Alliance, Delusions of Grandeur, Jedi Bounty, and The Emperor's Plague. So that's cool. And then lastly, we get the one that I never see online, and it's actually in the best shape. I don't think this was ever read, which is Under Black Sun, which is the conclusion to this series, which collects... Oh, great, they didn't put it in the dust jacket. Return to Ord Mantell, Trouble on Cloud City, Crisis at Crystal Reef. So, that's all of Young Jedi Knights, which essentially is the last of the New Republic stuff. I know I said Union's the last, and it's technically considered the end. I've had several things say the Union's the end, but they like to forget that the young adult novels are canon for the New Republic, like Junior Jedi Knights and Galaxy of Fear, and of course Young Jedi Knights. They just tend to leave them out. But you see, there's a certain book that quotes these books throughout it that is an adult book. So I consider these kind of essential if you want to read everything on their road to Crucible. So, without further ado, how can I have my road to Crucible without having Crucible by Troy Denning? Oh, I got these, by the way, for $30. Crucible. Got this for a little less than $10. Essentially, this was the book to that the big three were going to be. This was their last book being the protagonists in the timeline. They can go back and they can do other stuff with them prior to in the timeline this book. So it's cool. I remember wanting this when it came out, but I wanted Kenobi a little more, so I chose Kenobi. And I haven't read either. So, I need to stop stacking them right here. The last 4 books are Bantam books. They're Bantam solo books, which completes my Bantam solo hardcover collection. I am almost at a complete Bantam collection. I'm missing 3 hardcover sci-fi book club exclusives, which would be the Han Solo trilogy, Tales, which is a collection of all the tales that weren't Adventure Journal reprints, and the Corellian trilogy. The only 3 I'm missing now, which is cool. Now, this first one is the first part of the Callistia trilogy, which is a trilogy that really isn't a trilogy. I have the other 2, which the second one's Darksaber and the third one's Planet of Twilight. And so this is Children of Jedi by Barbara Hamby. This is supposed to be the best one. This is because Barbara Hamby wrote Planet of Twilight, and that's considered like one of the worst Star Wars books besides The Crystal Star, which Matt Wilson, aka the Geeks Addict, will be talking about soon. He's going to be doing a review of Crystal Star, which was done by Vonda McIntyre, which I bought a long time ago. And I got this for like $3. It's a bit beaten up, but, you know, it's readable. These last 4 books here, I have read before. I read them a long time ago. That's how I got into the EU. This first book is by a guy named Steve Perry, who really hasn't done much Star Wars. He created a character you might know of. Really cool guy. Name of Dash Rendar. If you played Shadows of the Empire, I'm talking about the novel Shadows of the Empire. This takes place between episodes 5 and 6 and is considered one of the best EU novels of all time. I really love this novel. I'm going to be reading this. This will be my next Star Wars book with the original characters. I'm going to be reading something called a Mall Lockdown by Joe Schreiber, finishing off Joe Schreiber's 3 books. That's what's going to be happening soon. So either that or Shadows of the Empire. I'm going to be reading them both at the same time. To me, Shadows of the Empire just holds a special place in my heart. I remember the toys that came out from this. It had its own soundtrack. It was like a movie that didn't have a movie. So it's cool to own a copy of Shadows of the Empire in hardcover, finally. And it's an easy book. It's an easy book to access in the timeline because all you had to do is see Empire Strikes Back. It takes place right after that. And the last 3 books here are Timothy Zahn's masterpieces that everyone has read. I'm talking about the Thrawn Trilogy. Heir to the Empire. This is as I recall, I think this is a first print which has what many people considered a continuity error that was actually taken out. Yes, this is a first print. And I will talk about that when I review this sometime, hopefully next year. Or either, I don't know, mid next year when I finally get to these. Next, Volume 2 is Dark Force Rising. Well, with Shadows of the Empire, I got that for $5. This, I paid $30 for the 3 of these. And yes, I do have the 3 of these. And I got The Last Command. So, yeah. All in all, I've got some good steals. I think this is pretty much all of my eBay orders. There's like one really special thing, not Star Wars, coming. I can't think of anything else EU that I'm ordering right now. So that's cool. Anyway, guys, have a nice day. I'll get this out tonight when I get home from work. So later, fools.